Well, here we are. Welcome to beautiful Wisconsin. We are at a particular racetrack today that many of you have probably driven on in racing video games. It's hidden away right behind me. It's a legendary track, and you'll see tons of big IMSA races, you name it, out here. Well, we're actually joining our good friend and Ford dealership owner, the same Ford dealership that we're buying our new Ford Raptor R from, that being Chuck from Middleton Ford. How you doing, Chuck? Great to see you, man.
Good. Thanks for coming.
This view looks absolutely stunning. Your car with all the graphics on, and I love these carbon fiber front vents. You gotta show me what you've done to this thing, dude.
Yeah, we've done quite a few things through Middleton Ford. We have this Middleton Motorsports division, so we like to make cars even better than they are. With the 500, I think we all know from your videos, stock is pretty amazing. So we did a few tweaks to this one to make it even a little bit better.
Oh yeah, you have, I think, racing wheels, right? So no carbon fiber wheels, but you have the Hoosier, is it R7s on it right now?
We always come prepared with a few different options to throw on the car depending on how the conditions are out.
And what track are we on here today?
My favorite.
Your favorite?
Hopefully soon to be your favorite, Road America.
Road America, the one track I hear so much about online, because people say you can get to 160, 170 plus miles an hour. Absolutely. Over and over again, lap after lap. And this thing, this is a beast. This is the Ultimate Edition Mustang ever made, 760 horsepower. And I think you have a bit more horsepower than that, right?
Yep. We have, we put on a Grip Tech 2.8 pulley. And what this does is it, we have the stock tune, but it actually was able to, with the fuel mapping it has, it adds more power, but no tuning needed. So we're guesstimating probably just over 800 horsepower.
Really? So 800 horsepower on that long straightaway going up a hill. You got to show what this track is like, dude. So a new intake manifold, right?
So it's a JLT intake. Other than that, I put a Mishimoto. I wanted a metal coolant reservoir. I don't do a lot of things for looks on here, but this is one of them, and I put the carbon fiber vent to it. So.
Okay, so you're one of those guys. You put on components that don't actually save weight, but they look cool, right? The carbon fiber to show off.
It's the only two parts I did for no performance. That's my whole, like everything I do on this car is literally for performance.
How about the subwoofer in the back?
I don't have one.
Oh, you pulled it out, right? Oh, perfect.
Upgraded belt so it doesn't break or fly
So
off.
you said again about 800 horsepower altogether?
I even go to the point where I take my washer fluid out. I'm trying to get as much weight out of here as I can.
Have you thought about doing a carbon fiber hood to save even more weight?
I've been toying with a carbon fiber hood, but
okay.
working through some issues on that.
Is it, because I've noticed with a few of them, they don't seem as stiff as a stock hood. That does weigh a lot on the GT500, but I think from what I've seen with them is that they might not be the best for these kinds of scenarios.
Yeah, I'm going over 170 miles an hour down the front stretch here, so with the carbon fiber and the vents and hoods, I'm getting a lot of flex out of the carbon fiber hood. Most people wouldn't have an issue, but I had to go back to the stock one because I'm just having way too much airflow under there.
Well, you know what? A few of the big questions for you. Can we go over those louvers that you have? Because I haven't quite seen these GT3 RS like louvers on a GT500 before. Are they functional?
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see with the camera, but they are functional. You can see all the way up through here. But I've really noticed that we did weigh them. It's about a 17-pound weight savings. So 17 pounds, you know, anything you can take off the front of this car that's already pretty heavy.
It looks cool. Do you ever get the rocks flying up at you? I know a lot of cars with the louvers right here. You see the rocks shoot up.
I mean, you can see the rocks all down here. They actually throw up into here.
No way.
It's usually, yeah, here. Bounce some rocks right here.
All the way into the engine bay. Well, since you have these Hoosier R7s on, how much camber do you think is a good fit for this tire compound?
I think when you're on the slicks, we recommend like over 3. I'm running 3.3. I did have to do a little modification to my strut tower on this one to get that extra ability, but I put the ground control coil or camber plates on there. The best thing is that all these little things and tweaks and stuff I've done. I know you've driven a lot of 500s, and you had one that I feel like you might miss a little bit.
A little bit,
I
yeah.
think what I want to do today, I'm going to give you a ride around Road America.
Okay, appreciate it.
Give you a nice spirited ride. We'll see.
That'll be nice.
We'll see how far in depth I go. But I think I want to get you behind the wheel around.
On this track, it'd be like a man. It's going to be insane. I think because this would be the fastest track I've ever been on with the GT500 before. The fastest I've been on a straightaway is like 160.
I guarantee you I will get you faster than that.
Looking this way, you can see straight through with the front vents, the louvers right there. I believe from what I hear from designers, the whole idea of putting louvers towards the front end of the vehicle is to relieve a lot of that high pressure air, and effectively it kind of works like downforce, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It kind of sucks the front end and down, and I've been able to tell a little difference. I think, you know, you should hopefully feel a little difference. Kind of goes back to the design that Ford had. There's actually a cutout exactly where that they had designed initially. I think if you've seen, they were going to plan on putting these in.
Oh, really?
But the actual cutout, there's actually a spot where you can cut out. It was like designed that it was going to be a cutout at one point. So
that's insane.
I think that's where, you know, they ended up not doing it, but early renderings show it was in there. So you know, it's kind of cool that we're using what they kind of initially.
Is that a solid, same paint color matched green roll cage out back?
Yeah, Competition Motorsport. We work with them. We got them to do a powder coat match to the Grabber Lime, and it's actually really good. So we've done some good things with them. We also get the fun helmets with all the good stuff on it.
So it looks like to me you're tracking the whole GT500 as a pretty serious thing, right? You're actually properly doing it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this track right here? This track in comparison to every other track you've been to?
I think I'm biased because I'm an hour and 45 minutes from here.
Oh, okay. Is that what it is?
When you have F1 drivers like Sebastian Vettel saying to have a proper road course track and referencing Road America, I think that has a lot more weight than what I'm going to tell you. Once you get out there,
yeah.
I need to have your like top 3 tracks, and I'll be shocked if it's not in your top 3.
That'll be awesome. Mind if we go do it right now? Let's go do it, dude.
Let's do
Alrighty.
I pushed a little harder than I said I was going to.
No, you're a great driver, man. The tracks on the West Coast are not like this.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I mean, the speed is just unbelievable, isn't it?
This is a totally different experience. It blows my mind. All right, Chuck, really appreciate the opportunity to take this beast out on this track. And the way you set it up, it's honestly unreal. It feels so good being back in the GT500 though, dude. I like to have the purple gauges on it and the green, the lime green. What is it called? Grabber Lime. Grabber Lime, that's right. You're bringing me back. This is a kind of track that I never had the opportunity to really test the GT500 on. A lot of the West Coast tracks, they aren't as grand as this, you know?
Oh yeah.
And the only ones that are grand are so far north, it's really hard getting there. But, well, this is even further away, but it looks amazing. And you gave me that ride earlier, I was just shocked. I'm not gonna go as fast as you were, but just gonna get a feel for it. Should be a lot of fun.
I'm looking forward to it. Remember 15 and the
35.
Because then they're gonna 15, 35.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We're on the naughty list right now.
Yeah, I know.
Santa's not too happy with us.
They're real mad at us.
Have to incorporate that in somehow.
That's so funny.
Light ones. Have fun.
Thank you. Have fun, we will, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's go.
That's a pretty Lotus.
Yeah. Feels pretty good over here.
Wow. Yeah, this car is so much fun, man.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I think with all the long straights, it takes a long time to get everything dialed in here on this track.
It's very different, the whole, I'm definitely learning. The car is so hooked up, that's the best thing about it. Brake so much later, it's insane.
Yeah. end it, you'll have a pretty good lap.
Really appreciate it, man. It's a lot to take in, you know. First off, going on this track, first time ever in a 800 horsepower monster like this. And the second thing is it's just so, the scale of it is absolutely unreal. Like, it blows my mind. And you can break this thing like, probably like right to here, slam the brakes on. There's just so much bite. So it seems like very intimidating in a weird way, like for coming out and like just taking it all in. But then we start going on it lap after lap, it starts feeling smaller, a bit smaller, and wow, yeah, it blows my mind.
This thing just it just works, and it keeps working, which is the cool thing.
So dialed in. Oh, we're turning in here?
Yep, just follow him.
Yeah, it's so dialed in. I like these tires a lot.
They're pretty good, aren't they?
On the platform, yeah. Jeez.
So you like this, you were progressing so much in that little time. You were on pace to do a 220 lap time, which most people would take a really long time to do that. So that just shows how, you know, respectable of a driver you are. So
thank you for the kind words, dude. I just don't want to, you know, this is your baby right here. You know, like
yeah.
I get this mental block sometimes. I get in certain cars. If it's my car, I kind of want to go, you know, much further. You probably feel the same way.
Yep.
I think this track is one of those tracks where like it takes a good amount of time to keep learning and learning until you start feeling really.
It takes a good few laps.
You've mastered it. You've absolutely mastered this place. What gave me the most confidence was being back inside this car.
Yeah.
Even though I was braking a mile early, just feeling the power of those brakes is like, okay, I'm just gonna,
yep.
slow down a bit, take it all in. But oh my gosh, the thrust going. What did we hit in the strip? I didn't even look. What?
165.
165.
Yep.
And you said your best like 170 something.
Yep. But yeah, I mean, and you know, like to get to that, you have. I'm pretty much on the limit of every corner, every brake zone, all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Which you just learn over. You'd be right there with yours.
It's not the track itself, the layout. It's not too. I don't want to say challenging. It's just once you start getting a hang of it, it feels natural for the car to take the corners. The corners aren't something that are throwing off the balance of the vehicle. Some tracks are just tossing left, right,
Yep.
where it's just a balancing act of, am I going to teeter-totter the car out of grip? Oh gosh, well, this is quite embarrassing, isn't it, Chuck?
Yeah.
Seems like we overshot turn 14, some, too late application of a brake pedal, I believe. And surprisingly, the jump landed pretty well down the hill. But I think altogether, no one passed us.
No.
Is that right? I think we won the track day session.
I think we did pretty well today.
Look at this view all around us. Thank you so much, man, for the chance to take this beast out on this racetrack. Because even like walking this way to see the whole view. Look how good your green GT500 looks with the track right behind it. This is cinematic looking right here. I have to say that getting in this car on a high-speed track, you can really feel the downforce working to a much further extent than I've ever experienced in any other track. And it's a bummer because on the West Coast, we don't have grand historic tracks like this other than like Laguna and a few other ones. Most of the tracks we have are like in the desert. This thing comes alive out here. And this main straightaway, you know, like you were saying, your max speed was 170 miles an hour. I think we passed one like 60. We got 165 for me just now. And getting on the brakes hard. Well, I was braking way too early. You can brake way later than that. But I don't know if I really want to do today. However, the braking performance, you would ask yourself, how can a vehicle this big and, you know, weigh close to 4,000 pounds, if not 4,000 and more, slow down like this? Well, I just think because having the 16.5-inch Brembos, it gives it such an advantage. And having all that front mass really helps the front end just grab down and slow the rest of the vehicle down. But at the same time, even though it's front engine, you have a lot of the, well, you have an unequal weight distribution going forward. It puts down the power very well in the back, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
The downforce kicks in.
It's fun. I mean, you mentioned the brakes and stuff like that. You owned one for a while. I've owned one. I've tracked it a bunch. Like every time I'm going into turn 5, turn 1, and I think you can say the same, it always surprises you with the amount of braking force. You give anybody a ride, that's the first thing. They're like, I cannot believe the brake force. But, you know, it worked real well. We had fun out here today. We only overshot 14. Didn't get too much damage.
Luckily, no one saw us.
100 yards. Yeah, no one saw us. Exactly.
I think I'll rank it right there next to Coda, because Coda is amazing because that's like the F1 track,
exactly.
Right? And everyone knows what Coda is, but everyone knows what Road America is. It's all the video games.
Yep.
You see the NASCAR races here, right? Well, what other races are out here?
Yeah, IndyCar.
Yeah,
IMSA is out
IMSA.
Here. Yeah, pretty much every day of the week this place has stuff going on, which is pretty cool.
It takes a lot of guts. I'll be honest, like going out there for the first time today, definitely I think I'd want a much longer of a day to learn the track, because holding like full throttle or close to like a lot of throttle towards the back few corners just there where the walls are, the white walls. I know I don't know the terminology yet. I don't know the corner numbers, but to see the speed you're holding through there in the car, the downforce are just sucking down. And one big point too is that your front end grip is just, it's just relentless. It's a force that you know the car is going to turn.
Exactly.
Right? You don't have any issue there. And as long as you're smooth with your gas pedal application, you can put all 760 horsepower down fast. And
Absolutely.
I think he's dialed in camber perfectly for the GT500. I haven't seen or felt a setup quite like this. Like if you've got a GT500, I think that negative 3 degrees of camber that you have, or if you live near Wisconsin, hit him up, he'll set up for you.
Exactly.
But the Hoosiers and the camber you have, I think feels perfect. Did you set it up based off this track, or are you just feeling it out?
So I've probably done over 300 laps here with this car, so it's like, you know, kind of going and doing some time, do different trials, and I think we finally got it dialed in exactly how I like it to feel. So now it's just tweaking it out, and you know, I'm a couple tenths from getting to the 219s, which is my goal, and I'm looking forward. We're getting a whole new track. They're ripping the track actually up on Monday, so
really,
it's kind of you know, I think I'm going to get a couple seconds there, so it's kind of cheating.
I think instantly, yeah, he's going to have the new PB out here, right? You're going to be, what was the GT2 RS record? Like a 217, you told me? You told me?
It was 216.
216?
Yeah.
New paved track that's this long. How many miles is this? 2 miles?
4 miles.
What am I thinking? 2 miles. 4 miles. Every track I go on is always 2 miles.
Exactly.
Willow Springs, 2 miles. Buttonwillow, everything is 2 miles. 4 mile track.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you know what we got to do? When I take delivery of the Z06, we got to come out here, test it out, and go against other vehicles, maybe even the GT500 track pack or the standard one, and see how they perform. Does that sound fun?
We can't mention the other things we're doing together, but those other track cars we're working on, that'll be for future videos.
That'll be for future
cool.
things. Stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed this awesome track coverage. I love going to the track, and so does Chuck right here. So I think that's why I really prefer his dealership, because these guys, they're enthusiasts, and as you can see, he tracks his own GT500. Stay tuned for updates on our Raptor R order. Cannot wait till we get that vehicle. If you've been to this track, let us know in the comment section down below. Anyways, make sure to hit that like button to help us out, and subscribe for much more great content coming out your way. Let me wrap up with this final angle right here. Subscribe again, and I'll see all of you in the next episode.